That's the one I'm gonna go after them when they're leaving, but they're not super locked, but I have a feeling they're gonna come back. The next thing, so this is my favorite. So this is what you're getting here is my favorite swim jig setup too. Swim jig, flipping, I mean, this is like one of my favorite setups all year round. But I'm gonna take a 1/2 ounce white dirty jig. I'm gonna take a white Max Scent meaty chunk, and I'm gonna hook it right through there. Oh man, check that all up. Hold on. I'll hook it right through the center there. And man, I'm telling you, this has been my go-to for like years now, just for everything. But I still incorporate it bed fishing, especially when they're really locked. But this is a jig. I swim, flip, everything you can think of with that jig right there. And what I really like to do this is, especially when the fish, I have it on 7.6 heavy Fantasista Premier, the same Revo Premier reel, 40-pound X5 braid, and this is what I'm gonna throw when those fish are in like really thick cover and lily pads, you know, stuff that you don't want to have fluorocarbon. You want to have them on some braid so you can yank them out of. And this, I'm just gonna flip it in there and I'm gonna wait. And then every time that fish kind of, you know, forgets that I'm in there, I'm gonna try to pop that thing up and surprise them. And a lot of times they will inhale that thing. Especially, it's something weird about, you know, when you're throwing plastic at them and stuff, you know, a lot of times you can catch them, but there's sometimes those fish, man, that's all they want is a jig. And that right there, I mean, gosh, I can't remember how many big ones I've caught on that. I mean, that's probably more, you know, the 8, 9, 10-pound fish have come on that. And then the last one, now this one's my favorite. It was in my boat because I was using it yesterday, so I didn't bring it with me. But I use a 7.6 heavy, same as that one, Revo Premier reel. I'm going to use 25 big game, and I mean, so I've used that. A guy, Joe Kramer, I used to fish with when I was a kid growing up. It was always, man, you got to throw that big game, got to throw that big game. And I always was like, man, we could probably throw anything. You know, you got to use this, but man. That big game, he had it all dialed in. That big game is like a rubber band. You know, everybody knows how spongy it is, and man, till this day, I still use 25 big game, and that's my bait when I troll by that fish, and she just leaves the bed, and she just comes over. She looks like she's gonna eat the trolling motor, and she looks up at me, and turns around and goes back to the bed. That's when I pull that rod out. I got you know, I usually do a quarter. With a Berkeley Fusion straight shank 5/0 hook, and in a pit boss. This is the 4-inch. I'll either use the 4-inch or I'll use the big 5-inch one. And man, I'm telling you, so when it's usually those fish are usually they're willing, they're going to eat anything. And I mean, that's my rig that I just pull out when I see that one. I want to make sure I'm going to catch them. I'm going to have plenty of stretch in my line. Yeah, and it will get the job done. Oh, colors. We didn't even really talk too much about colors. So colors, sight fishing, everybody is always big. I gotta throw white this, gotta throw that. You know, a lot of people like white because they can see the fish take it. I will throw white at times if I feel like the fish are not picking up the bait that well. I'll go to white, but 90% of the time I'm gonna use a green pumpkin, you know, a June bug. I'm going to use something dark, something that's going to kind of blend in and be natural, and that the fish is actually going to take and swallow it.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.